So let's move on to the second one. Understanding whether a situation or a decision that you have to make is simple or complex. Now I'm going to give you a very quick overview of the theory that I developed from the leadership interviews that underpins this work. So here you go. As I began to have these interviews with leaders, what I could hear in them is that when they were making simple decisions or dealing with simple information or simple situations, they were very cognitive. But the more complex a situation got, the more intuitive they had to be. And a lot of other researchers have found the exact same thing. So here's what simple decisions are. You know what these are like. They're highly quantitative, they're low risk, low emotion, clear definition of outcome, common set of principles. These are no-brainers. But now move over to complex decisions. They're completely different. Significantly involved with people, as it turns out we are just one big mass of variables. Highly involved with people, high emotion, conflicting principles. A lot of interacting but nonlinear elements. I interviewed the Speaker of the House of Delegates for the state of Maryland. Highly intuitive. He said to me, I have to sense the feelings of the people in my district on an issue. I have to intuit the other 140 delegates in the House. And I have to read that situation to know when to bring an issue to the floor for a vote. Because if I misread it, that issue could be dead for years. The Maryland House of Delegates voted on a gay marriage bill this year. Does it fit the model of a complex decision? High emotion, conflicting principles, interacting nonlinear elements, highly complex. These are highly intuitive decisions. You need to know what you're dealing with. So here's the model. Not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I just want you to know. So imagine that cognition, intuition continuum across the x-axis. On the y-axis is the level of complexity of the situation. So the more variables, the more complex. So if you're down here in this easy quadrant, you've got low number of variables, pretty simple, highly cognitive. But as you try to stay in that cognitive place, because that's where we're comfortable, it's where I love to be, but the number of variables increase, that's when you start overthinking. Now, we're not going to talk about knee-jerk decisions. These are the shoot-from-the-hip people, right? Know these? Oh, yeah? Yeah. So the bad news is we're all one of those, but we're not going to talk about that. Where we're trying to get to is that complex space. This is where you have the appropriate balance between cognition and intuition compared to the number of variables in the situation. I call that balance point info-tuition. The combination of information and intuition. Say it with me, info-tuition. Right. So that's what we're shooting for, is that balance part between cognition and intuition based on the situation. Here's what's happening in your brain. When we are thinking cognitively, it is the prefrontal cortex that is active. It's the most recently evolved part of the brain. It is what gives us the ability to think logically, sequentially, to use numbers. Rational thought lives here. Here's the thing about this part of our brain. It's slow in brain time. It takes a lot of energy. This is what's going on when you are in a meeting all day long and you're sitting in a meeting and you get home and you're like, I'm exhausted. I just sat there. How can I be exhausted? It's because this part of your brain takes so much energy. Here's the other thing. It's like the RAM in your computer. It only holds limited information. Only holds limited information. So when you try to use that to think through a complex situation, you are literally exceeding the capacity of that part of your brain. That's the analysis paralysis. And we get stuck because we've exceeded the capacity of that part of our brain. So what we're trying to do is to add in more of that intuitive component to be able to help us grapple with those complex situations.